to reflection. As my class always starts with Sanskrit prayers that give real life connection during the sessions, I will start my session with the same. सुरस सुबोधा विश्व मनोज्ञा ललिता हृदया रमणीया अमृतवाणी संस्कृत भाषा नैव क्लिष्टा न च कठिना. Such a beautiful language, it is neither harder nor difficult. Let's begin the session with hook activity. Let's begin the session with a hook activity named Suktim Purayata. इस गतिविधि में आपको सुक्ति को संस्कृत में पूरा करना है. I request you all to put an answer in the chat box. सत्यमेव. आत्मनः प्रतिकूलानि परेशाम. Very nice. Yes, Pooja Singh ma'am, very good. Ashwini ma'am, thank you so much. Second one, आत्मनः प्रतिकूलानि परेशाम. Second question, आत्मनः प्रतिकूलानि परेशाम न समाचरेत. Third one, अति सर्वत्र. थैंक यू सो मच भावना मैम, वेरी गुड. अति सर्वत्र वर्जे, जो भी ज्यादा होता है उसका हमेशा त्याग करना चाहिए. नेक्स्ट वन, योजकः तत्र. योजकः तत्र. प्लीज टीम, वेरी इट्स वेरी इजी. योजकः तत्र. It was hard. दुर्लभः. Very good. Thank you so much, Ashwini ma'am. Very good. Next slide, please. संहतिः. संहतिः टीम वर्क. हमारा जो विजन है, हमारा जो मोटो है स्कूल का, दैट्स टू बी टुगेदर. संहतिः. कार्य साधिका. अगर हम साथ में रहते हैं तो काम पूर्ण कर सकते हैं. अहिंसा. टीचर्स, यू कैन पुट द आंसर्स इन चैट बॉक्स. परमोद सुनंदा मैम, थैंक यू सो मच. स्वाति मैम, थैंक यू सो मच. नेक्स्ट, विद्या विनयेन. वेरी गुड स्वाति मैम, वेरी गुड, वेल डन. गुणः गुणज्ञेषु. गुणाः गुणज्ञेषु. गुणाः भवन्ति. अगर गुण जानने वाले लोग होते हैं तो उनमें अगर अधिक गुण हम डालते हैं तो वो गुण ज्यादा हो जाते हैं, गुण ज्यादा बढ़ते हैं. धर्मो रक्षति. वेरी गुड भावना मैम, इट्स धर्मो रक्षति रक्षितः. वंडरफुल, वेरी गुड, थैंक यू सो मच. नेक्स्ट, परोपकाराय. परोपकाराय. परोपकाराय सताम विभूतयः. जो परोपकार करते हैं वो सज्जनों का धन होता है. मौनम. इट्स वेरी इजी. मौनम. वेरी गुड स्वाति मैम, वेरी गुड अश्विनी मैम. मौनम सर्वार्थ साधनम. एंड देन नेक्स्ट, विद्या विहीनः. जिसके पास विद्या नहीं होता है वो कौन कहलाता है? विद्या विहीनः. वेरी गुड स्वाति मैम, वेरी नाइस. स्वाति मैम बहुत अच्छे से बता रही है. मैम गूगल कर रहे हो क्या?
स्कूल में पढ़ा हुआ संस्कृत याद आ रहा है.
दैट्स ग्रेट स्वाति मैम, वेरी नाइस. वृत्तम. वृत्तम, दैट्स कैरेक्टर. यत्नेन. यस युवराज सर, वेरी गुड. यत्नेन संरक्षित. शीलम परम. शीलम, शीलम का अर्थ होता है कैरेक्टर. शीलम परम. भूषणम. वेरी गुड सुनंदा मैम. विभूति मैम, नेक्स्ट वन इज यू टोल्ड सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः. वेरी नाइस. वसुधैव. वेरी गुड विभूति मैम. कुटुंबकम. प्रतिमा मैम, वेरी गुड. एंड देन लास्ट वन, द वन हु सॉल्व्स. अगर आप मेरे सामने होते तो मैंने चॉकलेट तुरंत दी होती. आत्मनः पूर्वम. I bet if somebody does it. Atmanah Purvam. This is very, very near to our heart, near to DPS. चलो हिंट भी देती हूँ. Very near to DPS. Atmanah Purvam. Shall I tell the meaning? So I hope you will be able to get it. खुद से पहले. खुद से पहले.
Service before self.
वेरी गुड, वेरी नाइस। मनीषा मैम रिकॉग्नाइज्ड इट, अ ह्यूज क्लैप फॉर हर। मैम मैं स्कूल में जरूर आपको चॉकलेट दूंगी। आत्मनः पूर्वम सेवा, इसे कहते हैं सेवा, आत्मनः पूर्वम सेवा। दिस इज व्हाट आवर लोगो इज, एंड लेट्स, जो हम सेवा कर रहे हैं स्कूल में, जो सर्विस दे रहे हैं, उसका समर्पण करने का टाइम है। तो चलिए सारे टीचर्स मिलकर आज का सीसी फ्राइडे कंडक्ट करते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस एक्टिविटी, वेरी वेल कंडक्टेड। धन्यवाद सभी को। नमः सर्वेभ्यो। अहम अश्विनी भवतां पुरतः अद्य संस्कृतविषये नाशिक विद्यालयस्य प्रवासं वर्णितुं प्रारभे। But I know all must understand what I am sharing. So I will be using a multilingual method to address our best practices in Sanskrit subject. Welcome to our Sanskrit day-to-day classes in DPS Nashik, where we proudly showcase the best practices of active learning strategies. Our objective and department goal is to make the journey of learning this ancient and beautiful language an engaging and interactive experience. Throughout this experience, participants hunt into the world of Sanskrit through table work, collaborative exercises, and process templates, and many more. By working in groups, students are engaged in dynamic discussions and problem solving, fostering a deeper understanding of Sanskrit grammar and vocabulary. आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो स्टूडेंट्स ने किस प्रकार से अलग अलग गतिविधियों में सहभाग लेकर गतिविधि पूर्ण करने की कोशिश की है। सबने साथ में मिलकर, यहाँ पर आप एक ये जो स्लाइड दिख रही है वहां पर देख सकते हैं घटनाक्रम, स्टोरी सिक्वेंशियल ऑर्डर में उन्होंने लिखी है, and they all were together to do it. Next slide. Students actively participate in creating study aids like flashcards and concept maps to reinforce their understanding of the topic. Through role playing and dialogue practice, our students are sharpening their language fluency and building their confidence in communication. We believe that through active learning strategies, students surely grasp the language as well as cultivate an appreciation for its timeless beauty. जब हम एक्टिविटीज अलग अलग कर रहे थे, उसका रिफ्लेक्शन, स्टूडेंट्स ने रिफ्लेक्शन भी दिया है कि उनको कोई भी गतिविधि करते समय वो गतिविधि कितनी समझ में आई, या किस प्रकार से उन्होंने पार्टिसिपेट किया, या वो टॉपिक उनको किस प्रकार से समझ में आया। दैट इज द थिंग हियर यू कैन सी ऑन द स्क्रीन. As an integral part of our Sanskrit classes, we encourage students to engage in reflective exercises where they ponder upon their learning experiences and insights gained during various interactive activities. Through structured reflections, learners are identifying their strengths and areas for improvement, enabling them to take ownership of their learning process and make meaningful progress in their Sanskrit studies. By fostering a culture of reflection, our Sanskrit classes aim to enhance habits of mind such as self awareness, critical thinking, and continuous growth, creating a supportive and enriching environment for students on their language learning journey. We begin our class with prayers, connecting to the real life examples, as well as we end the class with saying Dhanyavadah Punarmilamah. We'll meet soon. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhave. Saying this, I would request Mukta ma'am to talk about Hindi subject. Thank you so much.
धन्यवाद अश्विनी। आपने संस्कृत भाषा की विभिन्न रणनीतियों और गतिविधियों के बारे में जाना। आप अंग्रेजी, फ्रेंच और मराठी की गतिविधियां, रणनीतियां भी जानेंगे। हम हिंदी में उन गतिविधियों के साथ साथ कुछ मजेदार गतिविधियां करते हैं जिनकी हम छोटी सी झलक आपको दिखाने वाले हैं। तो इसके पहले मैं आपके सामने हमारा जो गोल है, डिपार्टमेंट गोल है, लक्ष्य है, उसके बारे में बताऊं। तो हर वेबसाइट को आत्मविश्वास, कुशल संप्रेषणता, तार्किक बुद्धिमत्ता, समस्या निवारण क्षमता तथा संवेदनशीलता के गुणों से संपन्न बनाने के लिए हम हिंदी विभाग के टीचर्स कटिबद्ध हैं। तो चलिए चलते हैं पुस्तकीय ज्ञान से अनुभवीय ज्ञान की ओर। हमारी कक्षा 10वीं में एक पाठ है ज़हन की देन, जिसमें चानोयो ध्यान के बारे में बताया गया है, जो एक टी मेडिटेशन है। तो हमने तय किया था कि हम उसका अनुभव अपने विद्यालय में करेंगे। उसके लिए कुछ सूचनाएं देना आवश्यक है। कक्षा 10वीं में सूचना लेखन अभ्यासक्रम में पहले से ही मौजूद है, तो उसका अभ्यास भी होना चाहिए। तो हमने एक पंथ दो काज का कार्य इस प्रकार से किया कि जो भी सूचनाएं शिक्षिका की तरफ से छात्रों को देनी है, तो छात्रों में से ही कोई एक, हर बार नया छात्र चुना जाता है, उसने वो उसी प्रारूप में सूचना लिखनी होती है जो शिक्षिका ने देनी है, और वो सूचना जो है व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे हम लोग पोस्ट कर देते हैं। सो इस तरह से दोनों काम हो जाते हैं, ताकि वो हैबिट्स ऑफ माइंड और हमारी जो डिपार्टमेंट गोल है, उसकी जो ढेर सारे गुण हैं, आपको कहीं न कहीं हर गतिविधि में नज़र आएँगे। सो ये सतत प्रयास जो है वो होता रहता है। तो ये देखिए जो गतिविधि हमने करनी थी, उसकी सूचना छात्रों द्वारा छात्रों के लिए है। अब आगे चलते हैं, आगे जो स्लाइड है वो है टी मेडिटेशन की। आनापान तो हम लोग प्रतिदिन 10 मिनट करते ही हैं, तो उसकी अगली श्रृंखला जो थी वो टी मेडिटेशन थी, जिसका अनुभव छात्रों ने लिया, और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि उस दिन उन्होंने वर्तमान में जिया था, कुछ क्षण ही सही, लेकिन उस समय वो वर्तमान में जिए थे। बहुत मज़ेदार और ख़ास था उस दिन, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी हम लोग जो हैं पहले से ही हम आनापाना करते ही आए हैं। धन्यवाद। आगे बढ़ते हैं। विज्ञापन विज्ञापन एक सुंदर तरीका है अपनी रचनात्मकता दिखाने का। जैसे कि मैंने आपको कहा कि हम पुस्तकीय ज्ञान से अनुभवीय ज्ञान की ओर जा रहे हैं, तो विज्ञापन भी छात्रों को व्यावहारिक जीवन में कैसे प्रयोग करना है, वो भी दिखाना ज़रूरी है। तो हमारा आगामी एक कार्यक्रम है साहित्य स्पर्श, जिसके लिए छात्रों ने एक सुंदर वीडियो बनाया था। हालाँकि सूचनाएँ भी थी, वीडियो भी थे, उसमें से एक चाहूँगी। मैम, वीडियो रन हो रहा है?
इस हिंदी दिवस के अवसर पर दिल्ली पब्लिक स्कूल नासिक प्रस्तुत करता है साहित्य स्पर्श। हमारे देश के वीर जवानों और जाबाज योद्धाओं को श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए हमने विभिन्न कार्यक्रम आयोजित किए हैं, जो कि हमारे हिंदी साहित्य पर आधारित है। आप भी इस ओजपूर्ण कार्यक्रम का हिस्सा बने। जय हिंद।
तो जिस तरह से हम रिगर की बात करते हैं, रेलेवेंस की बात करते हैं, तो ये बार-बार सतत प्रयास जब होता रहेगा, तो बच्चे सीख ही जाएँगे। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। ग्रुप डिस्कशन जो है, समूह में कार्य करते हैं, तो बच्चे एक-दूसरे से सीखते हैं, एक-दूसरे को बताते हैं, बात करने का तरीका, वाक् कौशल उनका बढ़ता है। और उसी प्रकार से नाटकीकरण जो है एक बेहतरीन तरीका है, जहाँ पे बच्चे जो हैं कांसेप्ट हो या अवधारणा हो, बहुत अच्छे से सीख पाते हैं। वैसे ही कक्षा 10वीं में हमारी एक कविता, एक गीत है, कर चले हम फिदा, जिसमें हमने देखा कि छात्र जो अक्सर कुछ गिने-चुने स्वातंत्र्य सेनानियों के बारे में या सैनिकों के बारे में ही बताते हैं। सो इसमें जो है हमने बच्चों से कहा कि आपको आपके नाम के पहले अक्षर से किसी स्वतंत्र सेनानी की जानकारी एकत्रित करनी है और कक्षा में प्रस्तुत करनी है। छात्र बड़े उत्साहित थे, क्योंकि उनको उनके नाम से शुरू होने वाले किसी स्वतंत्र सेनानी के बारे में जानकारी एकत्रित करनी थी। बहुत सुंदर अनुभव रहा ये भी। आगे बढ़ते हैं। यहाँ कक्षा में प्रस्तुतिकरण हुआ था। जी, आगे बढ़ें। साहित्य जीवन से जुड़ा है और जीवन साहित्य से। हम अक्सर कहते हैं कि रहीम और कबीर के जो दोहे हैं वो आज भी प्रासंगिक है, लेकिन वो किस तरह से प्रासंगिक है ये बताना ज़रूरी था। जो हमारी अगली गतिविधि थी, जिसमें रहीम के दोहे हमारा एक पार्ट है। रहीम के दोहे तो उन्होंने पढ़े थे, लेकिन उनको वास्तविक जीवन से जोड़ने के लिए हमने कोलाज बनाया था, जो अगली स्लाइड पर है, जिसमें छात्रों ने वास्तविक जीवन में कैसे जोड़ सकते हैं। तो न्यूज़पेपर जो है उसमें से कटिंग एकत्रित की थी और कोलाज बनाया और फिर प्रस्तुतिकरण किया था। उसमें एक जो मुझे, मेरा पर्सनल फेवरेट जो मुझे अच्छा लगा था, उसमें महाराष्ट्र राजनीति जो चल रही है, तो उसमें रहीमन धागा प्रेम का मत तोड़ो चटकाए, टूटे से फिर ना जुड़े, जुड़े गांठ पड़ जाए। वहाँ कुछ पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज़ और कुछ नेताओं के चित्र उन्होंने लगाए थे और उसका प्रस्तुतिकरण किया था। इस तरह से उन्होंने काफ़ी न्यूज़पेपर में से, वर्तमान पत्र में से जो आज के संदर्भ में जोड़ सकते हैं, उसका प्रस्तुतिकरण हुआ था। आगे बढ़ते हैं। बड़े भाई साहब हमारा पाठ है, तो वहीं से हमने एक आइडिया लिया थी और कक्षा 10वीं के बड़े भाई और बहन जो हैं, वो 9वीं कक्षा और 8वीं कक्षा के छात्रों को जाके पढ़ा रहे थे। व्याकरण के कुछ विषय थे जो उन्होंने सिखाए। तो इससे एक पंथ दो काज, जैसे मैंने कहा कि उनका अपना भी रिवीजन पुनरावृत्ति होगी। उन्हें समझ में आया कि उनको कौन-से मुद्दे हैं जो अभी भी ठीक से समझे नहीं हैं, क्योंकि उनको तैयारी करनी थी और छात्रों के समक्ष पढ़ाना, ये भी उनको समझा कि शिक्षक बनना इतना आसान भी नहीं है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। कक्षा 9वीं में हमारा एक पाठ है दुःख का अधिकार, जिसमें झाड़-फूँक, ओझा के बारे में बताया गया था। तो अंधविश्वास के पीछे जो तर्क छुपे होते हैं, वैज्ञानिक तर्क होते हैं, वो हमने प्रस्तुत किए, छात्रों द्वारा प्रस्तुत कराए गए कक्षा में, जिससे उन्हें पता चला कि अंधविश्वास अंधविश्वास ही है, उनके पीछे वैज्ञानिक तर्क होते हैं, वो कुछ ज्यादा मायने नहीं रखते हैं। अंधविश्वास मायने नहीं रखते हैं, ऑफकोर्स। तार्किक प्रश्न, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, बच्चों में तार्किक क्षमता बढ़ती है, जिससे उनका सोचने की, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग जिसे हम कहते हैं, कई समस्याओं के हल ढूंढने का प्रयास किया जाता है। यहाँ मैं आपके सामने एक प्रश्न पढ़ना चाहूंगी कि यदि कंपनी बाग के मुहाने पर रखी तो बोल पाती, तो यूक्रेन और रशिया के शासकों से क्या बोलती। एक कविता है जिसमें तोप के बारे में बताया गया था, युद्ध के बारे में बताया गया था। तो छात्रों ने बहुत ही संवेदनशील उत्तर लिखे थे, जहां उन्होंने किस तरह से रशिया और यूक्रेन से अगर बात करती तो उन्हें समझाने का प्रयास करती। तो ये भी एक फायदेमंद अवसर रहा हमारे लिए। एकीकरण आर्ट्स, स्पोर्ट्स और म्यूजिक के साथ कई गतिविधियां की गई थी, जिसमें कला के साथ पर्वत प्रदेश में पावस हमारी कविता है, उसके साथ आर्ट्स के साथ उसका इंटीग्रेशन हुआ। उसके बाद कीचड़ का काव्य पाठ है, जहां कीचड़ के साथ उन्होंने बाकायदा चित्र बनाए थे, खेल के साथ इंटीग्रेशन किया गया था। संगीत के साथ भी हुआ था। हम जानते हैं कि कबीर के दोहे और रहीम के दोहे यदि हम लय में गाते हैं तो किसे याद करना आसान हो जाता है। सो उसमें हमें संगीत की शिक्षिका ने सहायता की थी। आइए आगे बढ़ते हैं। वाद विवाद एक ऐसी गतिविधि है जिसमें भाषा के तीनों कौशल जो हैं वो आ जाते हैं। सो बच्चों ने बहुत ही सुंदर वाक् कौशल प्रस्तुत किया। अपने तथ्य जो तैयारी करके आए थे, उन्होंने तथ्य बताए, अपनी बात कहने का अवसर मिला, आत्मविश्वास उनका बढ़ा। सो इस तरह से अगर मैं कहूँ कि हमारा डिपार्टमेंट गोल जो है, उसमें जो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं या हैबिट ऑफ माइंड्स के बहुत सारे मुद्दे हैं, इन सारी गतिविधियों में कवर हो जाते हैं। आगे की ओर बढ़ते हैं। डमशराज जी, मुहावरे बच्चों को पढ़ने के लिए कहना, उनको प्रेरित करना थोड़ा कठिन हो जाता है। सो हमने डमशराज जो है उसके माध्यम से बच्चों को मुहावरे पहले पढ़ने के लिए कहा गया और उसके बाद एक मजेदार तरीके से जिसमें ह्यूमर भी था, मजा भी था और सीखना भी था। तो आइए देखते हैं एक वीडियो। अब मैं छात्रों को 1 से 50 मुहावरे पढ़ के आए, 100 मुहावरे पढ़ के आए, वो बहुत ही खुशी-खुशी से मुहावरे पढ़ के आ जाते हैं। तो आशा करती हूँ को आपको ये गतिविधियाँ अच्छी लगी होंगी। अब मैं पूनम मैम से निवेदन करती हूँ कि मराठी विषय के बारे में बताएँ। धन्यवाद।
धन्यवाद मुक्ता मैम। चलिए, तो हिंदी की रणनीतियाँ आप सभी ने देख ली है। अब हम लोग मराठी विषय की ओर चलते हैं। महात्मा ज्योतिबा फुले यांनी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे विद्येविना गती गेली, गतीविना मती गेली, मतीविना शुद्ध खचले, इतके अनर्थ एका अविद्येने केले. आपल्याला सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे की माणसाचं जीवन हे दिव्यातल्या वातीसारखं असतं. जर या वातीमध्ये, या दिव्यामध्ये शिक्षणासारखी वात नसेल तर हे जीवन अंधकारमय आहे. आजचं युग हे आधुनिक आणि तंत्रज्ञानाचं युग आहे. बदलत्या काळानुसार आपणही बदलणं तितकंच आवश्यक आहे, कारण बदल ही काळाची गरज आहे. विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये नवनिर्मितीची सुप्त शक्ती प्रत्येकाजवळ कमी अधिक प्रमाणात असतेच. विद्यार्थ्यांच्या नवनिर्मितीला चालना देऊन त्यांच्यामधील असलेली सर्जनशीलतेला विकास करणं हा उद्देश डोळ्यासमोर ठेवत फ्रायर मॉडेल ऍक्टिव्हिटी या उपक्रमाचं आयोजन करण्यात आलं, ज्यामध्ये विद्यार्थ्यांना शिकवलेल्या पाठावर आधारित पाठातील पात्र, कथेतील पात्र, याचबरोबर त्या पात्रांची स्वभाव वैशिष्ट्य, पाठामध्ये आलेले प्रसंग, याचबरोबर घटना आणि कथेचा किंवा पाठाचा सारांश या मुद्द्यांवर लेखन करण्याची संधी देण्यात आली. विद्यार्थ्यांनी या मुद्द्यांवर विचार करत आपल्या ज्या भावना आहेत संक्षिप्त स्वरूपात मांडवल्या. डॉक्टर APJ अब्दुल कलाम यांनी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे शिक्षणाने माणसामध्ये सर्जनशीलता येते आणि सर्जनशीलतेमुळे आपल्यामधील विचार जे आहेत ते प्रगल्भ होतात. विचाराने ज्ञान वाढते आणि ज्ञानाने माणूस महान बनतो. सुसंगत विचार करणे, सारांश काढणे, महत्वाच्या मुद्द्यांचा शोध घेणे, याचबरोबर सुसंगतपणे लेखन करणे हे कौशल्य विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये रुजवण्यासाठी माय स्केच नोट ऍक्टिव्हिटीचं आयोजन करण्यात आलं. यामध्ये विद्यार्थ्यांना एक व्हिडिओ दाखवण्यात आला. व्हिडिओ पाहिल्यानंतर विद्यार्थ्यांना त्यांचे विचार चित्राद्वारे, शब्दांद्वारे मांडण्याची संधी देण्यात आली. या उपक्रमामुळे विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये एका दृष्टिक्षेपात संपूर्ण पाठाचा जो आशय आहे विद्यार्थ्यांसमोर उभा राहिला. यामुळे परीक्षेची तयारी करणं देखील अतिशय सोपं झालं. पुढील ऍक्टिव्हिटी जी आहे ती आहे KWL चार्ट ऍक्टिव्हिटी, ज्यामध्ये विद्यार्थ्यांना व्याकरणाच्या संदर्भात एक घटक देण्यात आला. घटकाच्या संदर्भात विद्यार्थ्यांना विचार करण्याची संधी देण्यात आली की त्यांना कुठल्या गोष्टी माहिती आहे, कुठल्या गोष्टी त्यांना जाणून घ्यायच्या आहेत. हे 2 तक्ते सगळ्यात आधी विद्यार्थ्यांनी पूर्ण केले. त्यानंतर शिकवलेल्या भागावर व्हॉट आय हॅव लर्न, मी सगळ्यात शेवटी काय शिकलो, हे तासिकेच्या शेवटी विद्यार्थ्यांनी लिहिलं, ज्यामुळे विद्यार्थ्यांची ज्ञान पडताळणी करणं सोपं झालं. याचबरोबर पुनरअध्यापन करणं देखील तितकंच सोपं झालं. आता तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना माहिती की परीक्षा म्हटली तर एक प्रकारचं दडपण, एक प्रकारचा ताण, एक प्रकारची भीती विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये असते आणि ही भीती कमी करण्यासाठी अॅनालायझिंग अ पोयम ही ऍक्टिव्हिटी जी आहे ती घेण्यात आली, ज्यामध्ये विद्यार्थ्यांना शिकवलेला पाठ किंवा शिकवलेली कविता कितपत समजली हे बघण्यासाठी विद्यार्थ्यांना कवितेचं नाव, कवितेत आलेली कवयित्री, कवितेची मध्यवर्ती कल्पना, कवितेचा विषय, कवितेचा रचना प्रकार या मुद्द्यांवर लेखन करण्याची संधी देण्यात आली. विद्यार्थ्यांना समूहात बसवण्यात आलं. विद्यार्थ्यांनी एकत्रित समूहामध्ये बसून आपल्या विचारांची देवाणघेवाण करत दिलेल्या विषयावर लेखन केलं. यामुळे न समजलेल्या भागाचं पुनरअध्यापन करणं तितकंच सोपं झालं. पुढील ऍक्टिव्हिटी जी आहे इथे तुम्ही बघू शकतात की काही नमुने, काही जे प्रारूप जे आहेत विद्यार्थ्यांचे सॅम्पल काम जे आहे ते स्लाइडवर दिसत आहे. यानंतर पुढील जी ऍक्टिव्हिटी आहे ती आहे सी थिंक वंडर. विद्यार्थ्यांच्या विचारशक्तीला चालना देणं, विद्यार्थ्यांमध्ये शब्द संपत्तीचा विकास व्हावा, त्यांच्यामध्ये अभिव्यक्ती कौशल्य निर्माण व्हावं या दृष्टिकोनातून विद्यार्थ्यांना एक चित्र दाखवण्यात आलं. चित्र पाहिल्यानंतर विद्यार्थ्यांना त्या चित्रामध्ये काय दिसतं हे सगळ्यात पहिले मांडण्याची संधी देण्यात आली. त्यानंतर त्या चित्राबद्दल त्यांच्या मनात येणारे विचार हे थिंक कॉलम मध्ये त्यांनी लिहिले आणि वंडर कॉलम मध्ये त्यांनी त्या चित्राबद्दल त्यांच्या मनामध्ये काय कुतूहल निर्माण झालं याविषयी त्यांनी लेखन केलं. यामुळे त्यांच्यामधील जे अभिव्यक्ती कौशल्य आहे ते विकसित करण्यासाठी नक्कीच मदत झाली. अशा पद्धतीने वेगवेगळे उपक्रम मराठी भाषेमध्ये राबवण्यात आले. यानंतर मी संजना मॅडम यांना विनंती करते की त्यांनी फ्रेंच विषयाचे उपक्रम सर्वांसमोर सादर करावे.
Yes, thank you, Poonam ma'am. France is a historically and culturally rich country with a significant impact on a global stage, known for its art, literature, architecture, and cuisine. As we all know that for any language, the vocabulary plays a vital role. So in this image, students were asked to read the lesson to improve their vocabulary and pronunciation. Next, the group studies involve collaborative learning. When students study together, they exchange ideas, clarify their doubts. It also promotes effective communication. This image is of class 9th, where students were playing atlas to improve their vocabulary, as it is the foundation of language and communication. Now, the following images and videos are of French Day. It was celebrated on 14th July. We had organized events including welcome song, dance performance, skit on French culture, and fashion show. We started French Day with the inauguration done by Gunjan ma'am. The soul of France lies in its music. Our talented students sang a heartwarming song showcasing the diverse musical heritage of the beautiful country. Let's play the video. Now let's move on to the skit. The skit was performed on French Revolution, a pivotal event in world history. Throughout this skit, we reenacted significant movements, including the storming of Bastille and the proclamation of Declaration of the Rights of Man and the Citizens. which witnessed the passion and struggle of French people in their pursuit of liberty, equality, and fraternity. Let's play the video.
To work for the rich and also pay additional taxes to the clergy. To work for the rich and also
Okay. The dance performance captured the elegance and grace of French culture. Last but not the least, the world looks at Paris as a trendsetter in haute couture. The students elegantly walked the ramp, donning iconic French fashion styles. Let's see the video. Thank you, everyone. Over to Sheila, ma'am.
Sheila ma'am, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Jai Hind and good evening to all. When it comes to English, this is what we have. I request all the members to read this question and answer through the chat box. Thank you. Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Anticipating a few more answers. Surprising. Okay, thank you, Seema ma'am. Others? Thank you, Abira ma'am. Thank you, Ashwini ma'am. Thank you, Prajakta ma'am. Okay, it's majorly A. Okay. Rather than being followers, okay, that's great. Ekta ma'am says C. Okay. Sunipa ma'am says true, and that's the right answer. So applause to Sunipa ma'am. I would request, she really deserves a round of applause for the right answer. Others may be puzzled. Why true? But I'll just move back and read the question properly. The question says you need to answer true or false. The answer has to be only true or false. The major statement is 4 times 3 is 12. Whether A, B, C support the statement or no, and that too based on saying true or false. This is what happens to the students when they fail to solve math problem or answer science and SST answers. One thing that comes to mind is that the students are unable to comprehend the question. To overcome this shortcoming, the English team has pitched in the habits of mind, persistence, and learning continuously, which is being done through rigorous practice of comprehension through both seen and unseen extracts. Moving ahead, I request all to be a part of listening skills. Here, you need to answer the questions again through the chat box based on your comprehension of the read extract. The extract is, when the Kanyakumari Express pulled in at Chennai Central, it took Velu some time to get off. When he finally stood on the platform, his legs felt wobbly, as if he was still on a moving train. And the questions are, please make use of the chat box. Thank you. Thank you, Polima ma'am. Okay, thank you, Prajakta ma'am. Yes. We have two more questions unanswered. Setting platform, okay. Okay. And the character is Velu. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much for your response. Yes. And the answer key is this. I hope you found it interesting. Dear teachers, this is nothing but acceleration to empower our students at the beginning of each topic. And these are a few examples of listening skills being conducted during the beginning of each topic religiously. It helps them to enhance their comprehension skills. Okay, dear teachers, we also bring in music in the English classroom through integration. With this practice, students work interdependently and gather data through different senses. Let's watch the video. One sec. Yes, that's the video. Next, religiously we follow formative assessments and reflection. These two techniques help the teachers understand about the content delivered and the assimilation done by the students. This process has helped the teachers to understand a few concern areas. And after reflecting, the English team at DPS Nashik has diagnosed two concern areas. One, spelling errors, and next is tense errors. To help the students overcome this problem, we conduct dictation and tense test. Here are a few examples for the same. The dictation test is first evaluated by peers, and then the students write those words 5 times as practice. Okay. For the next segment, I'll connect you to Tanisha and Yogita.
I'm Tanisha and I'm Yogita. Now, starting from the school days, school has organized an exciting field trip for grade 7 to Sayadi Farms. Grade 8 students have participated in poem visualization competition held on 21st.
Okay, so this is reporting a news. Grade 8 students have a segment, a topic called as reporting a news. Rather than only theoretical knowledge, we gave them, the students, a platform to think, collaborate, and work on 4 major headlines: the school news, international news, national news, and any other news of their choice. This helped them to have the real feel of being anchors, working together, where one acts as a cameraman, other works as an editing team. So this was a wonderful experience. And I would like to also mention that this experience they are going to record in a video, which will help them to keep it for a long lasting time. This is what we have for English. And for the next segment, I request Archana ma'am to take over.
Thank you, Sheila ma'am. Myself, Jai Hind, all of you. Myself, Archana Patil. I'll take you to the tour of mathematics. Mathematics is an integral part of our lives because it is very useful when it comes in our needs. To make learning of mathematics joyful to students, we include various activities in our teaching like puzzles, games, fun activities. DPS Nashik celebrated Math Day enthusiastically previous year. Game of 24. In this game, students had to make number 24 by using 4 numbers on number game card. They could add, subtract, multiply, or divide the numbers, and they had to use each digit only once. There was at least one solution to every card. The card had 3 levels of difficulty. Students had enjoyed that game. Math exhibition. Next slide, please. We had received huge response for math exhibition. Students made various models, charts, 3D models, working models, and showed their creativity using mathematics. Next slide, please. Math race. Math worksheet were given to the students and the students selected as per their score for second round. In the second round, students raced 50 meters from starting point and came to the table where a sum was kept for solving. They have solved that sum and again ran to the finishing point. The teacher at the finishing point checked the answers and declared the winners. Math crossword puzzle. This competition was held house-wise in each class. The group that solved the puzzle in minimum time was selected for the second round. Second round was conducted grade-wise. Students had enjoyed this crossword puzzle. Next slide, please. During Math Day celebration, class 11 and 12 students participated with great enthusiasm. They presented a skit in which students had showed the life without maths is impossible. We take lab activities for higher grades as per the CBSE manual. A separate lab book is maintained for it. Next slide, please. The goal of mathematical education is it should become lifeline passion and it should be enjoyable for all the students. So we conduct the various activities in the classroom like KWL chart. Students were given opportunity to express their thoughts in this activity. Next slide, please. Look cards are a great way for testing and consolidating knowledge. We use it for higher classes. Class 9 students did this activity for trigonometric functions. The goal of the activity, next one is the Tarsia activity. The goal of the activity was to assemble the puzzle to form a particular shape. Students solved the questions and matched the answers which appeared on the other card. Next slide, please. Peer teaching. To teach is to learn twice. One student tutoring another in a supervised environment can result in better learning and retention. So oftenly we use peer teaching in the classroom. We include various strategies for assessment like you complete my book, what is wrong, who am I, critical thinking questions for assessment. Next slide, please. The past teaches us about the present because history gives us the tool to analyze and explain the problems in the past. Teaching the history of mathematics boosts students' interest in the topic, lowers mathematical anxiety, and increases motivation in them. So we include the history of mathematics in each topic of our lesson plan. Trying to achieve our departmental goal to develop students' problem solving and critical thinking skills through inquiry-based learning and connecting mathematics to real-world context. Thank you, all of you. Over to you, Manisha ma'am.
Thank you, Archana ma'am. Well, we all know that science is one of the most important channels of knowledge. Science is a way of understanding the physical world based on observable evidence, reasoning, repeated testing. To think like a scientist, you must ask questions, make detailed observations, develop hypotheses, find answers using tests, and question your answers. Yes, absolutely. Learning is an experience. Everything else that we do is just information. Next slide, please, ma'am. So the science department goal is focusing on making our students innovators, critical thinkers, inquisitive minds, problem solvers, and most importantly, responsible global citizens. And a step towards this is that our science teaching is focusing on making our students innovators and creators by providing them opportunities to come up with new ideas, exploration, making creative models through various subject-related activities in EVS and science. We are inculcating critical thinking in students by encouraging them to test and hypothesize and come up with the results. So that is one way of developing critical thinking in our students by analyzing and evaluating and translating ideas into problems and completing projects through reasoning and inquiry skills. Am I loud enough? Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So introducing different natural environments. Yeah, connecting with nature by introducing different natural environments to our children, we help them, think beyond the immediate surroundings and build well-rounded relationships with not just people around, but even with nature. Because nature-based learning and education improves the child's inquisitiveness as well as critical thinking. So many outdoor activities are conducted to establish this relationship with the nature. Connecting classrooms with real life experience and application of the theoretical knowledge learned in the classroom through expert talks where professionals are, coming and interacting with our children. I think no better way to learn than, getting first hand information from people who are actually using the knowledge that they have learned. So a great way of inculcating conceptual knowledge in our students, expert talks. Yeah, subject integration and exhibitions are an integral part of science learning and teaching. And these are held in various capacities to help connect and unify concepts of various subjects to promote holistic student learning. So integration with art, with drama, with music, and other subjects is done on a regular basis. Yeah, field visits. Now, field visits are organized to improve the learning in the classroom by creating links to the real world. Again and again, we are talking about rigor and relationship. I think field visits are one such way of building up relationships with people around us, with what we are learning in the classroom, and applying that knowledge in the outside world. So, field visits are a great way of enhancing this knowledge that we've gained in our classrooms. Yeah, a very, very important pillar in science is to investigate, to be able to explore and to be able to recreate something of our own. So exploration, investigation, and creating activities do, develop a strong sense of self and hook them to the topic. Like here, students created an alien offspring. You can see the child, 12th standard student, based on the characteristics that were observed in the parent, the dominant and recessive ones. The child could, come up with the progeny phenotype and genotype. So it was a great way of, recreating an alien. And the name of the activity was discovering alien genetics. So that was a great way of, exploring and extending the knowledge that they had gained. Here you can see children hypothesizing, predicting, and testing for the results. Various grade children like from 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard, and even our 9th and 10th, 11th, 12th standard students are, regularly being guided to hypothesize and predict and come to the result, so that they're not just, learning something blindly. They're asking questions. They are not, just taking things because the teacher is telling them. So that's a very, very important thing that they never should stop questioning. Providing situationals where they are, doing problem solving, where they can break them down into smaller aspects. Building up their observation and demonstration skills is a very important tool in all the laboratory work that we do across the three subjects, that is biology, physics, and chemistry. So demonstration, observation skills, slide making, because that's a very, very important practical skill. All these skills are, nurtured here at DPS. Yeah, these are our children demonstrating a practical in chemistry. Yeah, these are the children here in physics lab where they are troubleshooting equipment and they're making observations and trying to understand the measurement errors and interpreting and aggregating the resulting data. Because in laboratories, there are bound to be, and especially when it comes to physics, there are going to be some measurement errors. So children need to understand what is happening, how they can troubleshoot, these errors that they are coming across. So again, a very, very important skill that's being, developed here in our labs. Yes, ma'am. Next slide, please. Sheila, ma'am? Yeah, thank you. Collaborative learning, a very, very important aspect of our habits of mind and our overall NCF skills that we are, looking at, which promotes student-teacher interaction, increases the student retention, self-esteem, and responsibility. So group work definitely across all subjects, as we have already noticed, that we are, promoting a lot of group work collaboration, which is definitely helping our students to grow. So peer teaching and learning along with collaborative learning is also helping our children to solidify student knowledge by teaching each other, and also, making them confident and enhancing better learning and retention. This definitely proves a boon, especially in the higher classes where the student, is trying to teach the other child, and in doing so, he himself is learning twice. So that's a very good way of, bringing out their confidence and retention of a very difficult concept. Yes, ma'am. Next slide. Yeah, here you can see some real hands-on activity being practiced in our school garden. Our children from grade 8 were given the opportunity to prepare the entire garden soil, right from, plowing the soil to sowing seeds. Now, these seeds were not very fancy. They were your everyday kitchen seeds like, coriander and mustard and these seeds. But they were, given the opportunity to do hands-on activities here, where they connected the knowledge that they had gained in their lesson in science in the classroom to a real world, agricultural practice that farmers do day in and day out. So they were allowed to do this first hand experience, and they also understood how much effort and how much, care goes into nurturing plants and growing fruits and vegetables. And I'm sure they have learned to appreciate our farmers as well. So a very, very important activity. Experiential learning is the new way that, we have adopted here in science teaching. Again, hands-on learning cannot be kept aside when it comes to, trying it yourself, learning by doing, and teaching them blood pressure, normal values, instrument is this and that. Instead, let the children explore themselves. So here you can see children with the help of the in-house doctor handle the instrument on their own, and they could, they could reason out what is happening, why the pressure is going up or down, or what needs to be done, how is the instrument to be handled, what is the emphasis of, this instrument, and this kind of study in our everyday life, so they could connect to the real world. Yeah, and lastly but not the least, as the department goal said, that we are trying to develop and create responsible global citizens. And one step towards that that we are taking is becoming, making our children environmental stewards. Here you can see a climate clock that's being built up by our Tinkering Lab students. Now, this climate clock is actually a very, very unique idea, where the Tinkering Lab students, along with the in charge's help, built a clock which shows a countdown, which is focused on 22nd July 2029, that is 6 years from now, which is, it is keeping a track of the temperatures that have, risen globally. Now, the temperatures are at 1.1 degrees Celsius. In the next 6 years, that is by July 22nd, 2029, this rise would go to around 1.5 degrees Celsius. And this would be an irreparable damage to our climate and the climate cycle. So what are we doing as, responsible citizens, as responsible children? Our children have already, led the path, and they've shown us what we can do by little activities that, we are doing on an everyday basis. I think we can bring about a change, and we can stop this global warming and the carbon footprint. And definitely we all can make a difference by, going sustainable. Let's take a look at the video. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. So one last thing that we've put up here is a very, very unique concept, wherein we always talk about our health and our well-being. But what about the soil that we are using so, relentlessly? We have, taken it for granted. So we decided on this Environment Day to check the health of our soil. So surprisingly, we had more than 40, samples of soil that were brought by various, people in the school, and our students were given the opportunity to test for various parameters of soil like the pH and, the nutrient content and the acidity and the alkalinity of the soil. And the students, made the soil health card, just like we have our own health card. They prepared soil health cards. So very, very, sustainable initiative taken by our students and teachers. So this was the first of its kind, preparing a health card of soil. So that was a very, very unique kind of a thing done by our students towards sustainable environment and sustainable development. So to wrap up, yeah, these are the 40 plus samples that our children have tested in the lab. Yes, ma'am. Next slide, please. Yeah, so to wrap up, the important thing is to never stop questioning or learning. We cannot solve problems with the same thinking that we use to create them. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. On that note, thank you very much for your valuable time. Jagruti ma'am.
Thank you, Manisha ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manisha ma'am. Technology is best when it brings people together, has rightly been stated by Matt Mullenberg. Here in our school at Nashik, we focus on experiential learning, where all the students are encouraged to explore and reflect through hands-on experience and, of course, practical application. Next slide. The teacher demonstrate to make the students understand the concept or the application of the logic, and the students execute it practically very effectively. You can play the...
What are we going to learn today is to accept a number and find if it is even or odd. To accept a number, we need a variable. What is integer? Raise your hand.
Thank you, ma'am. Critical thinking. Critical thinking. We inculcate critical thinking at every step in our subject. Students of grade 9 enhance the skill course offered by CBSE, that is artificial intelligence, which boosts imagination and explores new possibilities. And this is the most I can say the most trending field in computers. Next one, we have the project-based learning. Students of grade 12th have developed projects depending on various topics. Like they have developed real-time projects using Python and SQL, using their logical and innovation skills. To name a few, they have created city area management system, OTT platform, movie booking, tournament management, library, and store management. And really to see, even the external examiner who had come to us, he also appreciated on the same. Next is problem solving. Well, we all know that without problem solving in computers, like we cannot really work out on the programming. Here, we can see grade 11 students help out each other to debug the errors, that is to remove the errors encountered during programming. Well, habits of mind are kept in to encourage students to create, imagine, and innovate. They learn to think independently and learning continuously through experimenting. The next one, we have dry run method. This is the unique technique which we follow. It's a manual technique which is used in programming to test a program's code without executing it on a computer. And this will give you, when it comes to the exams, it will give you the correct output. The next one, we have active learning.
Good morning everyone. My name is Arav. So today we're going to check if the output of the variable is correct in the...
Thank you, ma'am. The next one, we have active learning and teaching. as well as game-based learning. Learning from peers is always effective, as students take the role of a mentor to clarify the doubts of their classmates. Here we can see grade 11 students helping out each other and really executing the programs efficiently. Next slide. This is game-based learning activity where we had done word search puzzle game. What's related to animation to be added in the puzzle. Students of grade 9 visited India's preferred cloud service provider, that is ESDS Software Solution Limited, where the data center was a major highlight of the trip. Apart from that, we also, after the visit, we took the reflection and we really wanted to gauge how much the students had, they had taken up seriously to do this course based on cloud computing. And it is offered, this course is offered in our very own Nasik. The next one, an expert talk is a valuable way to gain more knowledge and insight in a specific field or subject. Grade 8 students had a real-life connection on the functioning of network devices, that is, router, modem, hub, switch, by our very own IT team. We also feel proud that our ex-student, Ayush Jagtap, who's pursuing his degree in cybersecurity from IIIT Hyderabad, shared his valuable knowledge to get insight on cybersecurity and ethical hacking, which is the need of the hour. Students explore their e-talents. They display their e-talents through various methods. It is unbelievable that in Google Sheets, images can be created. We can see here pixel art. The next one. Students design the cover page of the almanac on the theme, the year of millets, or school uniform too. Next slide, ma'am. Students actively participate in various national level and international competitions like Scratch Olympiad, National Coding Challenge, which was organized by CBSE and ICAR. We also encourage them to take part in inter-school competitions, let it be coding, quiz, movie making, and many more. Can we play the video, ma'am?
Jay, we are the students of grade 7 from Delhi Public School, Nashik. My group members are Atharva, Mohit, Rishikesh, and myself, Sherwin. So, today our group Windows is going to present a smart mind stick made by us. This stick is made for blind people, so they can predict the object which is in front of them.
Thank you, ma'am. Foster learning, which involves student-centered approach. Poster making competition was conducted on the theme G20 Summit India. We also encourage them to take part in inter-school competitions too. Well, we all know, next slide, ma'am. We all know since computers is totally a practical oriented subject, we totally rigor them, we practice, make them practice, we give more and more help to help out our students if they are facing any problem. We focus on conducting practical assessment, and through practical assessment, we understand their understanding what they are facing the difficulties. The next one, we have inquiry method. Teaching and learning based on the inquiry method is an approach that helps students to build their knowledge and understanding through exploration, as it requires higher order thinking skills and critical thinking to make conclusion. To conclude, through all the above methods, we accomplish our department goal to inculcate 21st century skills with different subjects in relation to futuristic development in an innovative, efficient, and productive manner. We also integrate, I would really like to specify, IT integration is done in all the subject. Let it be Hindi, let it be any language or science, social science. This is a major concept what we use it in IT. Thank you, Sheila ma'am. I hand over it to Jagruti ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Seema ma'am. I welcome you all to the tour of Social Science Department. Here is a beautiful quote by Nelson Mandela. Ma'am, next slide. Yeah. No country can really develop unless its citizens are educated. And the new education policy emphasizes on the fact that education is not merely about the textbook knowledge, it's all about the practical knowledge. So this is exactly experienced in Social Science Department through different activities. Let's know about the first activity. Ma'am, next slide. Yeah, election. Election of school council body for different posts like head boy, head girl, sports captain, vice sports captain, and captains of all 4 houses. Election is the soul of democracy. Here, students get the practical knowledge about the entire process of elections because they actively participate in school council body election. Students of grade 9 and 11 are given an opportunity to contest the elections, and students of grade 9 to 12 are given the right to vote. The election process starts from the filling nomination forms, here you can see, by the interested candidates. Then they prepare logo and manifesto for their post. Voter list is also made according to the class list. Ma'am, change. After that, the campaigning starts, that is the main part. Here you can see the posters, flags made by the students. They conducted rally, sent mails to the students and teachers. They gave speeches during assembly to introduce them. The entire environment of the school was full of enthusiasm. The code of conduct was also set as a protocol for the election when if they found violating the code of conduct, they were banned or from the contesting or voting in the election. Ma'am, please change. This is the voting day. On election day, the exact procedure of voting is followed in school. Here you can see in the first picture, their ID cards were checked as per the voters list, signature was taken, and then they were allowed to vote. Those who did not carry the ID card, they were forbidden from voting. In the second image, you can see they are voting in their polling booths. And here in the third image, before they leave the hall, they were marked on their left index finger with the permanent marker. So here they had the exact experience. In this way, students experience the entire procedure of election in a democratic way. Once the election results were declared, a prestigious investiture ceremony was conducted to hand over the responsibilities of different posts. Here, students are taking oath guided by principal, ma'am. Next, ma'am. Students here you can see all the students who elected students for various posts. Gram Sabha or Gram Panchayat is also a part of democracy, wherein students of grade 6, they have conducted Gram Sabha as a class activity. They played a role of Sarpanch, Gram Sevak and the Panch. They discussed various issues like electricity, water supply, and the provision of technology in their schools in the villages. Timeline is a way to arrange the sequence of events in a chronological order to get the idea of the lesson at a glance. When did that event happen? Who all members were participated, and what was the impact of that event, that everything they came to know through this timeline. This activity helps them to memorize different events. This is the TARSE activity. Already my friend Manisha ma'am talked about the same, so I'll not discuss more to save the time. Okay. Students love to play with clay, and here a model making activity was conducted for grade 6, in which they made a model of Earth, and they have showed the oceans and continents and the information about the globe. Case study is the best way to develop problem solving skills. Students were given different cases to discuss and suggest the solutions as a group activity. Here you can see the success criteria was shared on the board, and here here students are finding the solutions, and their solutions are written on the pages over here. Next slide. Jigsaw strategy is an excellent group activity which can be used for teaching a lesson. It is a two-step collaboration activity wherein students learn themselves first and then in their peer group, and then the groups are shuffled in such a way that each student of the previous group will teach the topic to the newly formed group. Success criteria was shared and the Chromebooks were given to search the extra information about the assigned topic. Next, ma'am. Mind map as a group work. It is used for the reflection of the lesson. Students were divided in groups and distributed with different topics. They had to discuss in group to make mind map on the entire chapter. Later, it was displayed on the softboard so that they can see and have a look to revise the topic in any free time. Map skills. Social science subject is incomplete without maps. From grade 6, they practice the map on the paper, on the globe also, and to locate the places on the globe. In this way, okay, actually in this way, we achieve the goal of social science department as a problem solvers, critical thinkers, and the global citizens. Here it's a time for quiz now.
Jagruti, can we skip the quiz? The time is running, and I think everybody. Yes, if we can, that will be great.
Fine, sir. No worries, ma'am. Okay. Let's sum up. We all know that it is a mammoth task to get attention of all the students and pull them all up to the mark. But we all teachers at DPS Nashik take this challenge at the best possible way, brainstorming for the best strategies that will benefit our students. All these cannot be possible unless we have a strong personality who can handhold us throughout. The responsibility of doing so lies on the broad shoulder of our principal, ma'am, without whose guidance we would never have been able to achieve. Our motto this year is let go and handhold. And what better example than our principal, ma'am, who is setting a good example for us. Thank you. Over to you, Poonam, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Jagruti ma'am. Now it's time for reflection of today's session. Teachers, I request you to please check the chat box. Here is the Padlet link. Which best practice from today's session do you like most and how will you use it in your subject? आज के सत्र में से कौन सी गतिविधि आपको सबसे अधिक पसंद आई और इन गतिविधियों में से आप कौन सी गतिविधि आपके सब्जेक्ट में उपयोग करेंगे? कृपया आप सभी को निवेदन है कि आप इसका जवाब पैडलेट के लिंक में दीजिए. Please check the chat box for the same. Role play, see, think, wonder, hands-on learning activity. Very good. Peer teaching, see, think, wonder, soil health card, math race, amazing. Acceleration, that's really good. Yes, thank you so much everyone for participating.
Good evening, everyone. There are two questions which are there in the Q&A section here. The first one is for Hindi teachers. How do you encourage students to read and write in Hindi? Students usually don't enjoy reading Hindi books or write lengthy Q&A or paragraph in Hindi. This is an anonymous question. If Mukta ma'am would like to take this up.
जी जी मैम. रीडिंग और राइटिंग ये हैंड इन हैंड जाते हैं। आप पढ़ेंगे तो लिख पाएंगे, लिखेंगे तो पढ़ना जरूरी है। सो रीडिंग के लिए छोटे क्लासेस से मुझे लगता है शुरुआत करना बेहतर होता है, वहीं से आदत होनी चाहिए। तो छोटी छोटी स्टोरीज जो होती हैं, कहानियां हैं, अगर आप किताब लेके कक्षा में चले जाते हैं तो दे नो कि आप कहानियां उसमें से पढ़ के सुना रहे हैं, किस तरह से आरोह अवरोह के साथ आप पढ़ रहे हैं, कहानी सुना रहे हैं उन्हें, किससे सुना रहे हैं। और कई बार होता है कि आप उनको कहानी का अंत भी छोड़ सकते हैं, है ना, तो वो उस तरह से पढ़ना शुरू कर सकते हैं। एक दूसरा जो बड़े क्लासेस में है, हमने किया है कई बार, जब भी होता है समय, तो कहानी का सीक्वेंस जो होता है ना, अलग अलग चिट्स में बना के उनको बांट दिया था, कहानी पढ़ के आने के लिए कहना है और उस हिसाब से सीक्वेंस बनाना है उसका। ये हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे किया है। जहाँ बात आती है लिखने की, मैं मानती हूँ कि बड़े उत्तर लिखने में पहले बच्चे जो है आनाकानी करते हैं, लेकिन उसको अलग तरीके से सिखाया जा सकता है कि आप किस तरह से पहले माइंड मैप बना रहे हैं, फिर उसका उत्तर लिख रहे हैं, या अनुच्छेद जिसे कहते हैं, राइमिंग लाइंस लिख रहे हैं। उसमें मैं बच्चों को मोटिवेट करती हूँ कि अगर आपका अनुच्छेद में एक मुहावरा रहेगा तो मैं आपको आधा अंक दे दूंगी। तो वो कोशिश करते हैं कि इस तरह से इंटरेस्टिंग लिखे, रियल लाइफ फैक्ट्स लिखते हैं, असली जिंदगी से कुछ उदाहरण लिखते हैं। तो उनको थोड़ा बहुत जो है बता के थोड़ा लालच कहीं देना है, अंकों का देना है, आपका कक्षा के सामने वो अनुच्छेद पढ़ा जाएगा, उनको मोटिवेट किया जाता है। तो मेरे लिए ये वर्क करता है, काफी अच्छे तरीके से वर्क करता है। आई होप मैं
आई
उत्तर
एम
दे पाई।
श्योर जिन्होंने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा है उनको जवाब मिला होगा. And there's another question. I think this is for Manisha Jhankar, ma'am. Do all the schools have the facility for the students to find this soil health?
Yes, ma'am. Surely, we all can. All the three school campuses can do the soil analysis because the chemicals used were quite, available, and some of them can be procured. But most of it that we did over here was with some references that our principal ma'am had. So thanks to her, the idea of doing a soil health analysis was really something unique. So thank you, Pushpi ma'am, for this opportunity. And I think if there is any other assistance that is needed, if any of the school campuses wants to go for the soil health analysis, I think Pushpi ma'am and even the in charge teachers, Diksha ma'am and Shireen ma'am would be ready to help.
Great.
Yes, Vibhuti ma'am. Thank you so much.
So some amazing work being done by the Nasik team, and I congratulate the entire team for this wonderful presentation. There were a lot of takeaways that I have noted down while this CC Friday was going on. I love the hook activity, then the team meditation that was done, and definitely Mukta ma'am, the Kabir ke Dohe. That was definitely a highlight where the turmoil in Maharashtra was so well articulated by the students using the Doha. Then a buddy teacher, the highest learning happens when you are teaching others. So I saw some of these activities where there is peer teaching happening, peer learning happening. There is no better way of ensuring that the learning is happening for a longer period of time than you teaching somebody else. And French Day celebration, that was really great. Mathsphilia, and definitely the tinkering lab, the climate clock, which was made by the students. And yes, the soil health card and the dry run method that Seema had spoken about, the IT classes and the computer classes. Amazing. And I'm sure the teachers from Nagpur and Varanasi also have noted down their takeaways from this session. So great presentation. Congratulations, Pushpi ma'am, and congratulations to the entire team of Nasik. A wonderful session. I wouldn't, take much of your time. Over to you, Ashwini. It's already 6:16.
Thank you, Anupama.
Sorry to interrupt, Ashwini ma'am. Sorry to interrupt, but we would like to hear from sir and ma'am as well. Over to you, sir and ma'am. Final words.
सिद्धार्थ जी हैं? I guess he is not there, ma'am.
Well, I really don't know what to tell because I've seen you people doing it, and there have been instances when we have actually been a part of these activities while you people were doing it in the class. So फिर वही बात हो जाएगी अपने मुंह मियां मिट्ठू बनना. So you girls have done a good job. Thank you so much. And the thing is कि this was actually being unfolding in the class. So this is a reflection for us, and the heading today, rigor to reflection, actually fitted beautifully to this entire presentation. So thank you, teachers, and keep on doing the same good work in the interest of your learners. That's
Thank
what
you, ma'am.
actually matters.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Anupama ma'am. Thank you, Pushpi ma'am. And thank you all the wonderful presenters today. And thank you, teachers, for joining in. I know there were lots of takeaways today. I have shared the feedback form in the chat box. Please fill it. And thank you for joining CC Friday episode 75. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ashwini. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Fill the form. Bye-bye.